Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I know I look very plain-faced today, but that is because we are doing a get ready with me while I tell you the most awkward hookup story of my entire life. Alright, we're gonna start with skincare. So far I've used this caffeine eye cream. Really helpful because as you can see, I have dark circles under my eyes. I've been that way my entire life. I've changed my diet, I've gotten under eye filler, and nothing really works. So why not try this, even though I don't think it really helps, but it does help a little bit get rid of the puffiness, so that is nice. I use this azelaic acid for my redness around my nose and cheeks because I have a lot of that, and it's supposed to get rid of it over time. And I use my hyaluronic acid because it helps with absorption of moisture. So good for any serums and skincare and moisturizer. It helps it absorb. Yeah, so to start my story off, I'm gonna start putting on some moisturizer. I'm just using this Tatcha one right here. It's the Dewy Skin Cream. Okay. Yeah, to start my story off, I was recently divorced. Yes, I am divorced. Little bit of life lore for you. And I was scrolling Tinder one night because I was recently single, right? So like, why not try and find someone hot to hook up with? And to give you some information about me, I love heavily tattooed people. Alt people, any gender, love it. So that's what I was looking for, is someone hot and tattooed. And I won't say it's like so rare in my city to find someone like tattooed, because that's very common, but the amount of tattoos I like in my city is pretty rare. It's a very conservative area, so yeah, definitely difficult to find. But yeah, one night I was swiping Tinder, laying in bed, bored, and I matched with this guy who was super hot. I've seen him around the city a little bit, but like, we've never interacted, but I thought he was pretty cute. So we started talking, and we talked for maybe a few days. And then one night he asked me, hey, would you want to meet up? And this is not my finest moment. I'm not usually a meet up with people and go over to their place, but I was not looking for a relationship, and he was attractive, so yeah. Can you really blame me? I mean, maybe at the end of the story you can, for sure. Yeah, definitely don't recommend doing this, stranger danger, but yeah. I said, why not? I'll come over, sure. He lived on the other side of the city, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to like go all the way there. It's kind of late. And he's like, well, I'll come get you. I was like, okay. So he drove all the way across the city to get me, which like, I mean, why wouldn't he, right? Yeah, obviously. As in like any girl would probably be like worth it for a guy for that. Yeah. Also, pause in my story, but I'm using this tiger grass camo drops. I use it as a redness corrector as well, and I dropped it like when I first got it, so it's all busted and broken, and that's like jagged glass, but I just like still use it. I just don't use that portion of it. Obviously it was a dropper, but now I just like pour it onto my hand and then like dab it on my face, which it works, but it's not really ideal. So I'm excited for when I run out of this, so then I can, you know, get a new one and not stab myself potentially. So yeah, I'm just putting this all over anywhere I have redness, acne spots, anything like that. How did I get some on my forehead? What was I doing? So I know I look insane, but I have all my color corrector on, so I'm gonna go ahead and blend that in. Just with a damp beauty blender. Okay, where were we in the story? Okay, so he texts me that he is at my place, and I don't really want him in my place. I don't know, I just feel weird about that with like people I don't know. But apparently I'm totally fine going to their house. Anyways though, you live and you learn, right? So I get in the car, and I'm not gonna lie, this man was like probably a good like 150 pounds more than he was in his pictures. And the first thing he says to me is, "Do you think I'm a catfish?" And I'm like, uh-oh, danger. I'm like the little Simpsons meme. I'm like, you know what? No, I don't think so. And he's like, really? Because he's like, a lot of girls think I am a catfish. But he's like, it's so nice you don't think I'm one. And I was like, yeah. But also, I don't say this to him, but like looking back on it, one, it was, I'm in danger and this guy might hurt me if I say, yes, he's a catfish. Also, like, what have I gotten myself into? Also, I'm a people pleaser and I don't want to be like, yeah, dude, you actually look way different than your photos, and like, just like be honest about who you are and what you look like. Because if you're gonna meet up with people anyway, like, why not just be honest, right? Like, just what? Like, just, why do you want to be rejected in person? That's a little ridiculous. But anyways though, I was like, you know what? Let's just like go with it. So we're in his car, he's driving, and the conversation is all right. He's like trying to like impress me with all these like concerts he's been to and like facts about himself. I was like, yeah, cool, nice. I don't really care. That makes me sound like such a bitch. But at this time, he didn't match his photos and I was just trying not to die and was like, you know what, like, I got myself into this. Looking back, I should have just been like, no, but whatever. Like I said, you live and you learn. So he looks at me and he's like, are you hungry? And I was like, no, I'm not hungry. It's like the middle of the night. Are you hungry? He's like, I am. So he's like, why don't we stop at Burger King? I was like, sure. So he goes to the drive-thru and he's like, what can I get you? Like, I'll get you anything. And I was like, I don't want Burger King at like 2 a.m. I'm sorry. Like, I'm okay. So he goes to the drive-thru and he gets a burger. He gets like a whole combo, right? He gets like a Whopper combo. He starts eating it, like just fistfuls of fries and burger and onion rings because he got the halvesies thing. So he's just like shoving them into his mouth. He's eating super fast. It smells so bad. I normally love Burger King, but like just the speed at which he was eating it and all the smells mixed together, it was just like making me nauseous. He starts burping. I was like, oh my god, what have I got myself into? This is crazy. So yeah, it's super disgusting. We're driving to his house. He's like, we're super close, but warning, we have to be really quiet. I was like, why is that? He's like, I live with my parents. I was like, oh, okay, perfect. This is my life. And I will continue the story in a second, but I'm going to be using the Patrick Ta foundation in 3 Rosy Neutral as my skincare. I feel like has basically set. It's a little wet still. Let me just like blend it a bit more. But yeah, so we go into his place. It's a pretty nice house. He's like, but I live in the basement, so like we still have privacy. I was like, okay, sick. So we go to the basement and we're in his room and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not like feeling it at this point. So I'm like, let me just like tell this man like no, like nicely. So I like ask him like, oh, do you want to like watch a movie or something? Or like watch TV? Cause like I kind of want to like watch something. Sorry, I'm looking in the mirror to do my makeup. But he says, yeah, we can watch something and like cuddle. I was like, oh, that's nice. And he's like, do you want something to like sleep in or relax in? I'm like, oh, this guy's just trying to get me out of my clothes. So I say to him, actually, which is the truth, that I brought my own t-shirt to sleep in. Because I like oversized t-shirts to sleep in. I normally sleep in like an oversized t-shirt and panties, or just like nothing on the bottom, honestly, but always a t-shirt. And the thing about me is a t-shirt needs to be like not tight, but not too oversized to where it's like wrapping around me while I sleep and like strangling me. So I really just want to use my own t-shirts for that, because it's like I normally use a men's medium and I know most guys wear larger than that. So I don't want to wear their t-shirts. I want to just sleep in my t-shirt. So I came prepared and I brought a t-shirt. And he's like, well, I just went to this show for this band, 200 Stab Wounds. And he's like, I can lend you the shirt for you to sleep in. And I was like, oh no, like that's okay. Like I do have my own shirt. Like, as I said, I don't need to sleep in yours. And he's like, but it's for a concert I just went to. I'm like, yeah, no, I get that. But I really just want to sleep in my own t-shirt. And he's like, well, I would really like if you wore it. And I was like, okay, at this point, this man is not taking no for an answer. So I'm like, sure, I can sleep in your t-shirt if you give it to me, sure. He's like, just don't steal it, because if you steal it, I'll be really upset. I'm like, okay, well, I wasn't gonna steal it. I didn't even actually want to wear it, but you're like forcing me to. So don't worry, I won't steal your t-shirt. And he's like, but like really don't steal it, because that was like one of my favorite concerts. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I won't. Like, I don't know why you're telling me this. Now I'm like, oh, he probably just like did want me. He was probably trying to reverse psychology me, low key. But I was like, no, dude, I don't want it. As my cat cries in the background, she didn't want it. Relax. As I look like an egg now and have no definition to my face. Oh, my cat's crying so much. Yeah. So we're laying there, cuddling. He keeps trying to kiss me, but his breath is really bad from the Burger King because bro did not brush his teeth in between eating it and us laying in bed. So I low-key just like tell him, which is the truth actually. I also brought my change of clothes for the next day. I should have prefaced this. I also had to work the next day, but I worked really close to where his house was. So he's like, oh, I'll just give you a ride to work in the morning. I was like, perfect, that's amazing. Yeah, let's do that. So I had a change of clothes in my bag for work. And luckily, the place I worked, I don't work there anymore, but I had keys as I was a manager there. And I was one of the opening managers. So I'm sure you see where this is headed. Oh, I totally forgot to put on primer. Whoopsies. Well, that'll be for another time. Sorry, the lack of primer really threw me off, and the lighting is kind of whack right now because I am using natural light because my ring light died yesterday and the light above me is very yellow, so forgive me for the bad lighting. But yeah, where were we in the story? Yeah, so I brought my oversized shirt, my change of clothes, and my key for work for the next day. I was very prepared. Laying there, watching a movie that he put on. I don't even remember what he put on. Honestly, it was whatever it was. It didn't matter. I really wasn't feeling it at that point. I knew like I didn't want to hook up with this dude. So I was like, let me just like pretend I'm falling asleep. He kept trying to make out with me and kept trying to like advance things. And I was like, no, 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 no. So I pretended to fall asleep because I was like, this is the only way I know how to get out of this. And as I pretended to fall asleep, I actually did fall asleep, which was nice. And then I woke up maybe around 5-ish. I was supposed to be at work for 8 a.m. But yeah, I woke up around 5 a.m. and he's not in the bed. And I look around and he has a recliner right beside his bed, which he explained is sometimes he wanted to sit up while watching TV because he had a TV like in his room, like a projection TV. So I was like, okay, well that makes sense. Dude is sitting in his recliner just watching me, like watching me sleep, like Obsession style. When I saw that in the movie, I was like, oh, gasp. I've had that exact same experience. It was very, very creepy. I was like, oh, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, you're just really pretty. Will you sleep? And I just couldn't sleep. So I thought I'd just like sit and like play on my phone and hang out. But he's like, but I thought the light might keep you up. So then I just sat here and I was like, oh, cool. So in my head, I was like, well, that's creepy. So I was like, okay, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? So I go to look at my phone. It's like 5:30ish in the morning. Keep in mind, like I said, I don't have to be at work till 8 a.m. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And he's like, what? And I'm like, they just texted me that they need me to come in early. And he's like, when? I was like, 6 a.m.? Like, that's in half an hour. I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Like, I didn't know that they would need me. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. He's like, well, let me give you a ride to work. And I'm like, you know, at this point, who's going to say no to a free ride? This makes me sound like I'm taking such advantage of him. But in reality, he catfished me, and I would have hooked up with him had he not been, like, weird and not who he said he was. In his car, and he's like, do you want Tim's? Like, I'll get you Tim's for breakfast. I was like, sure, why not? We're already in a car anyways. So, okay, so we're in his car. He's taking me to work, which is good. That's where I wanted to go to get away from him. Also, I decided to change at work. Obviously, I just put on my clothes from the night before with the big t-shirt. I was like, oh, I'll just change at work, which, like, I didn't want him to see me, like, naked. Also, earlier in the night, I made him, like, turn around while I changed because I didn't want him to see me naked. I was like, I'm shy. Meanwhile, what I do for a living, I'm not shy. I just didn't want you to see me naked. Ooh, as I forget to put contour on my nose. I'll do that once I finish blending this out. So we pull up to my work and he's like, I had a lot of fun. We should like hang out again. And I was like, yeah, totally. Cause I'm like, I don't know what to say and I just want to get out of this situation. So we like separate. I go into my store with my key. I'm obviously the first one there. I turn on the lights, and one of my best friends is my coworker there at the time, and she normally gets there around 6 a.m. So she kind of pulled up like a few minutes after he left, and I told her all of this. She was like screaming. It was crazy. She's like, oh my God, girl. She's like, you could have been murdered. I'm like, I know. Thank you. Thank you. But instead I was just catfished, and yeah, dude was creepy. So anyways though, I get a text from him later that day being like, yeah, so I meant what I said. It was really fun. I really would like to like get together again. And I was like, you know what? No. So I was like, to be honest, I'm not really feeling it. I didn't mention anything about him being a catfish. I felt like it wasn't worth like hurting his feelings or being. I was just like, oh, to be honest, I'm just not really feeling it. I thought I was ready to like be with someone, but I don't think I am. Like, I think I just need like time to heal, and maybe I should have been more direct. But it's the like people pleaser in me, as well as like maybe the Libra in me, where I'm like, just don't hurt their feelings, just let them down easy. So I was like, yeah, I'm just not really feeling it. I don't really know when I'll be ready to like move on. Blah blah blah. He was very like respectful of that, which was nice. But then I need to speed up on my makeup because I'm finishing the story and still not done my makeup. Also for this one, the contour, it's Milk Makeup Toasted. This one, that's what I'm using for contour. I meet my boyfriend a little like maybe a couple months to a year later. I can't really remember. It was like maybe 6 months to a year later. I meet my boyfriend, and to be fair, he's like really heavily tattooed, really tall. He definitely stands out in a crowd, especially in our city. He's like a lot taller than everybody else. He's like 6'4", and then very heavily tattooed and very attractive, to put it mildly. So yeah. Also, I used blush, Rare Beauty, Hope, if you care. yeah, so I'm with my boyfriend. It was probably like, so we started dating in August. It was like winter when this concert was. So we've been dating for a couple months. And we go to this show in our city, like a hardcore show. And this guy obviously also liked hardcore, like metal, that kind of stuff. We're walking through the crowd as we leave, and my boyfriend says, "Oh my God, that's Coffin Colin." I'm like, "What?" That's not actually the guy's name, and not what my boyfriend said. But this guy has a bunch of tattoos that are all the same thing. So for this story, his name is Coffin Colin because it was like alliteration with his letter of his name. But obviously he does not have coffins and his name is not Colin. But for this story, that's what it is. So my boyfriend said, like, "Yeah, it's Coffin Colin." He's like, "Come on, I'll introduce you. He's so nice." And I'm like, "Oh." So I look over and lo and behold, who is it staring at me? Coffin Colin is Tinder guy. And I'm like, "Oh, actually, I know that guy." He's like, "You do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "Well, we should go say hi then." I'm like, "No, we should not say hi. We should not say hello to him." And obviously Colin looks over and his eyes get super wide as he's like looking at me like, "Oh my God, is this girl gonna come up and talk to me?" And then he sees me and my boyfriend together and it's just like so awkward. And I'm like, "Let's just go." And then my boyfriend's like, "How do you know Colin?" And me being an oversharer ADHD girly, I'm like, "Oh," and I start telling my boyfriend the entire story of how I know this guy and why. And keep in mind also, my boyfriend knows my ex-husband and also now knows Colin. So I'm like, "Oh, this is awkward." And also my boyfriend is not someone who likes hearing about that kind of stuff. Like, he doesn't want to know about people I've been with in the past, which is fair. I have like no jealousy around that. Like, I'm pretty like chill with that kind of thing. But I know he like hates that kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, so definitely overshared there. So we did not say hi to Colin. But then my boyfriend tells me afterwards, you know what's so weird is that Colin has tried to hook up with his ex, like my boyfriend's ex, which I also know her. Funny small world. That's what I mean when I say our city is like big, but for like the type of people that all of us are into, it is very small, interconnected. But yeah, so he's like, "Yeah, Colin was trying to hook up with my ex-fiance like forever because they were like kind of friends." And he's like, "Yeah, so Colin totally tried to hook up with all these girls." And I'm like, "Oh, that's awkward." But you know one nice thing for Colin? He lost a lot of weight, which is like not like saying that you need to, but like now he much more closely resembled his photos. So that's nice for him because now he doesn't have to ask girls if he's a catfish or not. Because he actually just looked like his photos, which like good for him. That's probably like a nice change. Also concealer I'm using is Light to Vanilla by NARS. I'm just gonna let that soak in while I do my highlight, which is Fire Crystal, reading it backwards, Kilowatt Highlight by Fenty. Yeah, so that was my story with Coffin Colin, Tinder hookup gone wrong, crazy experience. I don't know, weird dude. I haven't seen him at anything since. I'm sure I will see him around. Not that it matters at this point. I think everybody is past it. And you know what? That's for the best. And I have other crazy hookup stories that I could tell you. If I want to like embarrass myself. I guess that one wasn't really a hookup story. But it was like a potential hookup story that kind of made me look bad. So, you know. But yeah. That is my story for that. And if you want to see the finished makeup look, I will show you in a second after I put my mascara on. So here is the finished makeup look after I've added my setting spray and mascara. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!